Hello, welcome to STFD Studio. Our guest today is Tallulah Gray, an
Hi.
up-and-coming performer on the Cape Town music scene. Hey Tallulah, how are you?
Hi, good. Thanks for yourself.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for coming in. Just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, I reckon.
I'm Tallulah, as you said. I'm 18. I've been playing live music at least for about 6 years now, on off, I guess. But really only like committing properly for the last like 3 or 4 years. But yeah, it's been great. I love playing music. It's awesome.
So you've been playing a little while already, but I guess you're still quite new to the gigging scene in Cape Town. You've already built a bit of a name and a bit of a following around town. You've been gigging regularly. You've released music recently, original material. Can you tell us a bit about the highs and the lows of navigating your way as an up-and-comer in a country which I guess notoriously has bad infrastructure for live music?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting dynamic to be, especially as young as I was when I started performing live and really wanting to get into music and stuff. That like most of the bars that I was playing at, I couldn't even stay at after the after the performance that I did. But I mean, I think I was lucky in the sense that like my family has enough connections to people that there was a foot in the door already that a lot of people didn't already have, which definitely made it easier for me to kind of get those groundwork out of the way. But I think there's definitely a dynamic within the music industry of either like you have to like be willing to work till you die basically, and commit yourself 100% so that you can get the success out of it that you want. But I've always just really seen it as a form of expression, so I've been in a fortunate enough position that I've never been too hung up on like, "Oh, I better make money at this gig, or I don't know what I'm going to do." It's been more about like, oh yeah, I'll do a gig because I love doing gigs.
It's nice to not have that pressure, I must admit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people aren't in the same position, but I mean,
Yeah.
you touched on the fact that your family have helped out a lot. Obviously, your mom, as far back as I can remember, has been involved with live music. I'm pretty sure for longer than I've even been alive.
She's
she's,
very entrenched in the South African music scene
and
for sure.
tattooing and live music also just go hand in hand, and obviously she's opened a whole bunch of doors through her network and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think that you still experience like quite a lot of frustrations as a female performer, even though like a lot of doors have been opened for you before?
I definitely think I definitely think that there's an element of that. I think that I've been fortunate enough that it hasn't been as bad as I know some other female musicians in Cape Town have experienced. But there's definitely she's a female. She's playing like kind of rock and roll music. She's like 16. What are you talking about? And there's definitely like a hesitation, but I think that I've always kind of taken it as a way to like, well, yeah, I'm going to prove you wrong then. You don't think that I can play this? We'll watch. Like,
Well, I mean, I remember your mom showing me sometime. I think I was actually in London. I was on tour years ago, and your mom was doing a exhibition at some hotel in Soho, and I went through with some friends. It was all part of that gang tattoo thing that they were doing the documentaries for, and your mom was a big part of that. And I remember, and she was showing me videos on her cell phone of you performing, I think at like a House of Machines.
Yeah, she's a very proud mother. I think you'd be hard pressed to get out of an interaction with her without her showing.
Yeah,
you
so
a video
they're
of me.
obviously big supporters. Your folks are big supporters. I mean, often the gigs you play for us, they're there, they're supporting,
Yeah.
they bring their friends and stuff. It's beautiful to see. It really is. Have they just always been encouraging of your music? Have they always pushed? Have they tried to guide you in that direction as a career choice, or are they just kind of nurturing it and hoping that you just have the best time with it?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't necessarily been like, you should be a musician. Like they've never tried to push me into any kind of career whatsoever. But I've always been the kind of person that likes a lot of things and is super passionate about a lot of things. So when I started playing music, like I always sang around the house and stuff, but it was nothing like more than, a kid singing. And then I did like a play or two where I had to sing in my primary school. And it really, like when I was in like the 7th grade or something, I like picked up a guitar that I had in the house or whatever, and I was like, I'm gonna actually learn how to play this. And they started to get a little bit more of a understanding that this was something that I was like committing time to beyond like, I do it in the car, like. But and from then on it was like, okay, I'm gonna play shows at my school. And when I started playing shows at my school and I started, working really hard for this, people that we knew would start being like, well, we've got like 3 songs before a set that we're doing. If you want to like jump on and be like, yes, absolutely, yes. I mean, I was doing like waiting room gigs with people for like 2 or 3 songs that were all covers, were all really bad, on like a Thursday night at 11 o'clock before I woke up for an exam the next day. Like that's just been my vibe.
Yeah, well, it's great that your folks allowed you to, get involved with all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at least give it a try, Who do you think some of the best artists that you've shared the stage with are? I mean, you've gotten a few of these little slots that you're talking about now for quite a few like big names on the South African scene.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really lucky to play with Prime Circle a few times. And I mean, I've been quite vocal that my favorite South African bands are Shadow Club and Black Lung, and I've been really lucky to play with them both more than once. But it's incredible, and especially the energy at playing these Sit the Folk Down gigs is that it's because you're often in a different combination of 3 artists, you get a different vibe every time. But there are recurring people that you like know to look forward to, that every time I get that email with the roster, I'm excited to see who I'm playing with. And that's always been fun, that like seeing people grow as much as you are growing in your career through all of these gigs as well.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're trying to do, like a lot of really cool things have happened from this Sit the Folk Down, like Unknown Legend Night, where artists who've met through that platform have gone on to collaborate and help each other record videos and record songs. And I mean, that's exactly what we're trying to do. The whole platform exists so that we can
collaboration, absolutely.
Collaboration and just build a platform for up-and-comers to network and stuff. Because from a distance, I mean, I can't even imagine what it must be like to start from scratch now, I also started playing when I was around like 14 years old. But then, I mean, I don't know why this has happened over the years, but there was way better infrastructure even, that was 20 years ago.
And I mean, we just see our local venues shutting down, especially now.
Exactly,
like it's definitely... I think the fact that people have access to so much online and that every person can pull up a video of most of the musicians that are going to play at a live gig on their phone so they can watch in their bed definitely adds to the lack of desire to like, I have to get dressed, I have to go out.
Exactly.
I'm going to pay to watch this when I could just watch it on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, Stanley and I were just talking about this earlier. I mean, right now with the world as it is, like in this really interesting climate of disaster and... but technology being at the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
It's as easy for me to watch a musician in London or a musician in New York as it is to watch my next door neighbor who also happens to be a musician. It's literally that easy to just go online and have access to some of your favorite artists.
Yeah,
sitting in their pajamas playing the guitar with that just like charming effect, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
and it also brings it back to be a little bit more like, it feels more personable again, where I think that there has been a while now that especially like musicians that have like made it big start to feel way less like people. And this whole celebrity culture that we have as a society, especially now, is like it was grown so much over the years that like it's nice to see that during this time that everybody isn't like mostly the same boat, that people are sitting around, as you said, like in pajamas playing music. It feels very much like, oh, that's exactly what I'm doing. Like,
no, totally. It's super relatable. And so do you consider yourself to be on like a pretty good trajectory at the moment? Like, are you kind of where you want to be right now at like the level you're at? Or do you have plans to specifically push harder to get anywhere? Or are you just kind of happy coasting along how you are now, releasing stuff, hoping that you just build like an organic little fan base and stuff? Like, what are your plans?
I mean, I'm a pretty ambitious person by nature, so I feel like I'm probably never satisfied with whatever I'm doing. But I'm really happy with how much my career in music has managed to grow, especially in the last 2 years. And I'm hoping to, once we're allowed to go into people's houses and stuff again. I've been recording an EP with a friend of mine that has a home studio, and that's set to release this year. And well, fingers crossed. But I'm hoping to be able to have enough of a backlog of like, look, this is who I am, this is what I make, so that the people that I approach on a more like serious or professional level are able to look at me and not be like, that's an 18-year-old girl, what is she doing? And be able to actually look at something and be like, okay, she's put the work in.
Cool. Well, I mean, I hope that what you get out of the show today helps you with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a cool little packaged set that you can show people and they can see exactly what you're all about. So so you're fairly new to this whole thing, right? Considering.
Yeah.
Is there anything that stands out to you right now, though, that like mistakes? I mean, we all make mistakes. Are there any specific mistakes that you think you've made that you would go back in time and change, or would you try something different? Or, as someone who's still quite new and up and coming, do you think that you just kind of like naturally using your resources that you're at your disposal, and you just kind of, pushing in an organic way?
I mean, I definitely think that there are, mistakes just in terms of live performance alone. You know what I mean? Like that. My goal has always been to end up in a band. I've always longed for the band vibe rather than a solo performer. But I've been able to make a lot more success as a solo performer, and I haven't been able to meet people and connect with people that I would like to be in a band with, or that I feel like connect on that the level that's required to be like a functioning band. But there are definitely gigs that I've done that have just been, not as rehearsed as others, or there have been gigs that I've taken that are great for my music career, but negatively impacted like my schooling or something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, there are always moments of each, but I don't think that I would ever change anything. That's
good to hear.
Yeah.
All right. So when can you say you're busy recording an EP at the moment, like a home recorded EP? How many tracks is that?
It's 9. It's looking at.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's pretty much a full album. Actually.
Yeah, almost.
Awesome. Because one of my questions was going to be, when can we expect a full album from you? But I guess you've answered that already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we obviously are in a very strange place in the world right now with Sit the Folk Down. I keep saying this in every episode. I shouldn't probably do that, but we're trying to adapt now. We're trying to adapt to the fact that we have very little access to the live stage, but we have these amazing resources, and we can create cool stuff here. So thank you for coming in. We're looking forward to your set that you're going to play for us. Is there anything you want to tell us about your set today?
Just that there are a few songs that I've been toying with throughout this lockdown period, and I, like many other artists, have been using this as a time to just get in touch with your more creative aspects. I mean, a lot of people use music as an outlet. I know that I definitely do.
I definitely do as well.
And that this has been a really creative time for me, and I'm sure a lot of other artists, even though it's not been all good or all bad or anything like that. So yeah, like a couple of the songs that you're going to see in the set are songs that are newer that I haven't performed live or anything yet. So I'm still working the kinks out, but it feels good to be able to play something new and play something again in front of people.
Awesome. So thank you for coming in. We look forward to hearing what you're doing, and hopefully we'll see you on a stage in real life sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
Cool. And obviously people can find all your stuff online. We'll link it all in the video.
Awesome.
And thanks for coming and sharing your music.
Thank you very
us.
much for having me.
Cheers.
Awesome. This song became a lot more relevant after I wrote it than I thought that it would, but this is called For the People. Oh, stop talking about it. Spend your word like gospel. Ain't it just a tad dramatic? No need to act so hostile. Oh, can you even tell your people are suffering? About time to say farewell. This country's gone sovereign. I don't know what to do. This impending doom got me running for my life, yeah. The way you run in your country, I hate to put it so bluntly, but you're fucking it up for the people. Hiding behind your power, leaving your people goners perched high up in your tower. Alt-right won't make us coward. I don't know what to do. This impending doom got me running for my life, yeah. The way you run in your country, I hate to put it so bluntly, but you're fucking it up for the people. Ain't no accountability. You're running your mouth, you won't let him breathe. Trying
trying to keep the civility, but there just ain't no sympathy from the people high up. Not trying to be so blunt when justice is so corrupt. All we can do is disrupt this everyday system, turning us all into victims, keeping us all as statistics, addicted to fighting and winning. In this ecosystem, all we can do is fight. Every day, every night, all we can do is write. I don't know what to do. This impending doom got me running for my life, yeah. The way you run in your country, I hate to put it so bluntly, but you're fucking it up for the people. Thanks so much. Like I'm sure a lot of people during lockdown, especially musicians, I've been writing a lot more now than I did the rest of the year combined. So yeah, this is one of those songs that I've written since everything's happened. Wake up in a new place, not sure where I've been. Don't know what happened, but my mouth tastes like sin. Been a long time since someplace felt like home. Been on the road so long, not sure where I'm going. Oh, oh, I can't keep running and running away. I can't keep playing and playing these games. I'm praying someone please show me the way. But I know that one of these days I'll be safe. No longer afraid. One of these days I'll know how to stay. Don't know what happened, but it must be a while. Somewhere between all the lies and fake smiles, playing a role written for someone else. Lived my whole life not knowing what I felt. Oh, oh, I can't keep running and running away. I can't keep playing and playing these games. Some praying someone please show me the way. But I know that one of these days I'll be safe. No longer afraid. One of these days I'll know how to stay. Remember the night that we went to the park? You laughed a bit and said you're scared of the dark. You took my hand and then the world stood still. So we looked around at the world we built without consequences, without comprehensive questions about who we are and what we know. All our highs and all our first song was the first single I ever got to release, and everyone knows that I'm a massive history nerd, so this is about the Russian Revolution. Yeah, this is called Petrograd.